was hot.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
Oh, yeah. You make me laugh. All right. Calm down, rock stars. Good morning, folks. It is Monday, your favorite day of the week, isn't it? April 24th, 2023. And the rock stars are rocking out over here. You hear them? They are pounding away. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, we don't have a guest for you today. How about that? How was your weekend? My weekend was pretty interesting, I have to say. Pretty interesting. Still going on about the the Budweiser cans. Man, these people are just so fragile. But that aside. Yeah, very crazy weekend. Got a call for a surprise gig, outdoor gig at the nursing home thing. It was kind of a political thing. It was very weird. It was a celebration for the facility getting 5-star rating by the state, I guess. And there were a lot of politicians there and business people, local community people. And then they got rid of all those people and brought out the old folks for a show that was supposed to be just a solo show for Brother Dave. But I got a call saying, could I come and help out? Because the old folks don't quite relate to Brother Dave, but they relate to me because they see me as a potential resident, a roommate. And so I don't know. I don't think Dave was concerned about it. I think it was the politicians and those people. Can you get somebody older? So I am the token senior citizen on the gig now. And Dave is great player. Good singer. Stylistic singer, though. He's not the kind of guy who can get tied into singing the melody as it was written, or playing the melody as it's written. He likes to improvise, and he likes to, do some stylizing, which makes it really difficult to collaborate in real time, especially when you haven't rehearsed. Oh, we got some bandwidth issues here. Am I getting fuzzy? Am I getting fuzzy to you? Am I Mr. Fuzzy? No, I think we've cleared that up. Anyway, so that was a difficult one, but we got through it, and it was a little fun. It was a nice day out, sunny day out, and playing music outdoors. And what could get better? What's better than that? Then I had a nighttime gig, a rock gig with a band that I sat in with that I've never played with before, and I was the oldest guy in the band by 30 years, and I was playing bass in the band, and they were a very hard rock, high energy outfit, and so keeping up with them kept me on my toes, and I was working pretty hard, but enjoyed it. And then Saturday night, gig at the restaurant in Lindenhurst, Goccia d'Oro, Tool, and the place was packed. And Mikey was heading out for Punta Cana the next morning, so he was in rare form. And Rick Corwin, the fabulous Rick Corwin, was sitting in with us on drums. Rick is a great drummer and made the experience just a lot of fun to play. So I had a good time, good weekend. And then yesterday was supposed to do some work, but got the lazies, man, big time. It was gray. So I spent a lot of time between the couch and bed. Get out of bed to lay on the couch, that kind of thing. But I feel a little bit rested up. Don't have a guest today, and not a whole lot to talk about because I'm sick of the politics stuff. I'm sick of what's going on in the news. The thing that caught my attention was 60 Minutes did a piece on Ray Epps. And if you follow this program, you know about Ray Epps. If you don't, let me give you a really quick um, summation of Ray Epps' story. Ray Epps was one of the guys who was at the Capitol on January 6, 2021. Sorry. January 6, 2021. No. Yeah, 2021. I'm sorry. I'm lost. I'm lost in a fog here. But he was one of the guys instigating loudmouth. God, we need to be in there. We need to get inside. But he never went inside. And so there was a lot of conspiracy theories from starting with Alex Jones. Of course, where else do conspiracy theories start? Alex Jones saying he was a Fed. People there were accusing him of being a Fed at the time, and then people, as conspiracy theorists do, they clung to that and they don't let go. They're like a pit bull. But here's the thing, and Rogan came out about probably about a year ago now, where he said, if anybody doesn't know this guy's a Fed is a fucking idiot and blah blah blah, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. This guy is a definite Fed. Look at him, look at. And I took exception to that big time because Rogan is a fucking idiot himself and a major conspiracy theorist and an imbecile, just a plain imbecile, because he lives on the internet. He gets all his information from the internet. Now, Ray Epps is a real human being. And anybody who wants to know, really wants to know the truth, can make an effort, a little bit of effort, to find out about the real human being. Obviously, if he's lived in Arizona for the last 35 years, which he claims he has, he's got friends. He's got people who know him. He's been a farmer and a catering hall owner and is known in the community. If he had been away on any FBI assignments, his friends might have noticed from time to time over 35 years. You could contact the man, you could talk to him, you could talk to his friends, you could go to the community and say, hey, Ray Epps, do you ever see him traveling a lot, or is he always, no, he's always around. Nobody did that much work to check out if the man they were accusing of being a federal spy is actually guilty of any of that kind of stuff. Nobody did any. They're just going to defame this man and make him an enemy and put it out there and call everybody who doesn't believe he's a fucking Fed an idiot when they haven't done any work to really get to the bottom of the accusations that they're making. It's insane. But this is the world we live in. We live in a world where people say, oh, do your own research, man. And do your own research, man, means go to YouTube and see what people who think like you, people who are aligned with your agenda and political thinking and political party, see what they say. That's what do your own research means. For people who have no experience in research whatsoever, it means YouTube. And I love YouTube. We're on YouTube right now. YouTube's a great resource, but it's not a research tool for idiots who don't know anything about research or scientific method. So the Ray Epps thing definitely bothered me because we called him on this program. I called his business to talk to him. Nobody accusing him of being a Fed even lifted that much of a finger to say, is this guy a real person? Has he really lived in the community he says he has for 35 years, and that's a long way from DC or uh, any FBI facilities. And how can just work out of his farm? Because he was a farmer for 30 plus years. FBI agent just working remotely on his farm, working from home as they call it. What, growing shit? It doesn't make any sense, and it never made any sense. And the people who have been pushing that theory, listen, he's not an innocent guy. He was there. He was rabble rousing. He's a loudmouth. He's a coward because he didn't have the convictions to do what he was telling other people to do. Got all that going for him, or going against him, but he's not a Fed. So anyway, there's people in the chat room. Let's see who's here and say hello. TJ Jones, I believe you're new here. Just got here. What do you mean by circle? You mean in the description, it's a circle. Episode 360. 360 is a circle, 360 degrees. Listen, when I'm coming up with the titles for the program, it's usually the guest name. And if there's no guest, I don't put a whole lot of thought into it. I'm just trying to get the schedule out on Sunday morning so I don't have to work all day Sunday doing this shit. So 360, it's a circle. That's all that means. It's nothing significant. I don't know. I don't know what it means. It means it's 360 degrees in a circle, and I didn't have time to write anything or think anything more clever than that, which is sad on my part, isn't it? I'm not a very clever person. Anyway, do have some gigs coming up this weekend. Looking forward to that. And the schedule will tell you about tomorrow on this program. We will be having Diane Gallagher and Ben Mowbray. Why did I say Ray? Ben Mowbray from Rock the Cash Bar. Rock the Cash Bar is a cool podcast. It is a podcast that features comedians. Ooh, the voice is cracking again. Jordan Peterson is trying to come in, ladies and gentlemen. He's not welcome here. Rock the Cash Bar. Cash Bar. As it sounds. Rocking the Cash Bar. Rocking the Cash Bar. It's misheard lyrics. And it's a really cool thing. So they have well-known comedians, mostly. Well-known comedians, sometimes not so well-known comedians, but comedians playing along to misheard lyrics. And I've been in a band now, the current band I'm with, 20 years. I don't know, really. More than 20 years. And Mikey, my lead singer, is the lead assassin of lyrics and song titles ever. Well, he's in Punta Cana. He can't play along, but I can play along pretty well, just channeling his misheard lyrics, misunderstood lyrics, and all that kind of stuff. Good morning, Rocky. How you doing? I haven't seen from Rocky in a long time since we ended the business edition. How are you, Rocky? And we'll be doing that again. I will be. I will be on Stand Up Memories, television show, podcast, or at least they're planning on it. Jackie got in touch with me last night. Jackie Martling, and Peter Bales, having me. It's my big moment, my big shining moment, my IMDb breakthrough. Anyway, I don't know if that's this week. We'll see. But that should be an interesting thing. Jackie has some ulterior motives with this, having me on this program. And one of them, he wants to create in-face confrontation with me and Michael Zinn. Now, I don't have anything to really confront Michael about. I do think I don't even want to go down that whole thing. I'm airing grievances here. I don't think it's worth fighting over. I think I said what I said. Mike said what he said, and we can leave it where it is. Leave it where it is. Leave it how it is, and just move on from there. So, but it should be interesting. Yeah, I'm never, conflict makes for good ratings. So I'm never opposed to that. If it will help the show, I'll fight with anybody, even over stuff I don't have any real reason to fight over. I will improv anger. Sometimes I improv anger, and this is what got me fired from radio. I improved anger to the point where it became real anger and got out of control. Uh, so there's that. Um, what else did I want to tell you about? I'm forgetting. It is Monday morning, and Monday is the day to forget stuff. So I'm going to grab some fresh coffee already. Yes, already. What? I'm not allowed to grab some fresh coffee already. And I will be back in just 1 minute. If you can hold on, maybe we'll have a show for you. Maybe we won't. I don't know. This episode is brought to you by Koa Coffee. If you are a coffee connoisseur and want to experience the best coffee Hawaii has to offer, no blends, no compromise, try the true taste of aloha. Koa Coffee produces premium Hawaiian coffee, hand-picked, expertly roasted, and delivered from Hawaii to your door with aloha. From award-winning 100% Kona coffee grown on the slopes of the Mauna Loa volcano to the unique mocha beans of Maui, they strive to provide their loyal customers with the best quality and freshness. Since 1997, Koa Coffee has been known far and wide as a product of utmost quality, and their awards prove it. Koa Coffee was featured in Forbes' Top 10 Coffees of the World. This is the coffee Forbes called the best coffee in America. Find out what it's all about. Go to minddogtv.com/coffee. Really, really, really interesting.
Coffee with a Dog is live streaming now.
Coffee with the Dog is live streaming now. One thing I did forget to mention about TJ Jones wants to talk about flat earth. I'm not really interested in flat earth. I think it's just silliness, more conspiratorial nonsense. Been down that road. No reason to even argue with people about that or talk about it anymore. There are plenty of outlets for people who want to talk about flat earth. I'm sure there are lots of people who would love to talk about that all day long. I'm not one of them. Sorry. Hey, there's a show for everybody, right? One thing I forgot to mention, was remiss in mentioning, and this is pretty interesting, I think. Saturday night, after I got home from the gig, usually after a gig, body pain, body stiffness, cramps, all sorts of old people kind of afflictions start happening once you get home. And it's really hard sometimes to relax after that. Even the kind of low energy gigs, because it's all about, you're on your feet the 4.5 hours, whatever. You're moving equipment, you're doing all this kind of stuff. You're dancing sometimes. Yes, even me dancing, kid, you can imagine that. So the body takes a little bit, not a beating, just it goes through some stuff. And it takes a while to just calm the stuff, calm your legs, calm your back, calm your hands, all that stuff. So I was doing that, laying there, kind of doing a little meditation, and I heard what sounded like a typical murder-suicide. What? Yeah. First, a loud gunshot followed by another loud gunshot immediately. Boom, boom. Wait, was that gunshots? Was that gunfire? And I went and I asked my wife. I said, "Was that gunshot?" She said, "Yes." And then now keep in mind it's after midnight, and she says maybe they shot a deer. I was like, "Shot a deer at midnight? Nobody shoots a deer at midnight. First of all, it's illegal to shoot a gun around here, or not on a range, because you never know what you're gonna fucking hit. But to do it at midnight, you're shooting at a deer. You miss the deer. God knows where that bullet's going. Nobody shoots deer. Oh, Jordan's coming back. Um, Nobody shoots deer at midnight. And as I'm telling her this, there's another one. Oh shit. That's what makes it sound like a murder suicide. So there's two bop bop, and then like a minute and a half of conversation, and then the third one, and then silence. And the neighborhood goes dark. And I called 911. What's the problem? I think I heard gunshots, 3 of them, 2 of them in succession, boom, boom. Wait a minute and a half or longer, and then a third one. And it sounds to me, it just sounds like it might have been a murder-suicide. Oh, thank you for calling. We'll check it out. So looking now, no cops coming down the road. And then across the street where people had moved in about 6 months ago and been extremely busy every day from the crack of dawn. Really, the minute the light breaks over the horizon, they are out there with tractors and dump trucks working on this house, making lots of noise every single day, especially on Sunday. Now it's dead quiet and dark. I'm thinking, there's 2 dead people in there. And the cops aren't coming to check it out. And a car pulls up and shines its lights directly at my house and just sits there for a minute. I got headlights coming through my living room window, and they're just sitting there. I'm like, this isn't a cop. What is this all about? And then they pulled away slowly. No cops ever came to check it out. And somebody said, well, maybe it was fireworks. Well, fireworks have a very different sound than a gun. And there's no reason, nothing to celebrate with fireworks. There's no reason for that. And like 20 minutes after midnight, or 25 minutes after midnight or so, 2 bop bop bomb, 2 bop bop, and then a minute and a half later, a bop. What would that be? It's not like decorative fireworks. It just booms like M80s or something. And why? Why is somebody doing that at midnight or after midnight? And just 3 of them like that. That's not typical firework use. And then yesterday, I'm like looking at the house all day long. These people moved in 6 months ago, and I'm not kidding. Every day, at the crack of dawn, they're up there working on that house, making lots of noise, and it's been something I've been patient with to a point. But when it comes to Sunday mornings, and you want to sleep in a little bit, it gets a little bit annoying. Yesterday, there was none of that. Dead silence. And I'm thinking, what's it going to take? Nobody's even knocked on these doors. These people, they haven't really met any of the neighbors, even though they've been here 6 months. Nobody is friendly with them. Nobody's unfriendly with them, but nobody's gone over and said, hey, welcome to the neighborhood. Would you like a cup of coffee? I don't know. Any of that kind of stuff. So nobody's over there checking on them. Could have a house with 2 dead people in it. My wife's like, well, I say, I know, basically, I could imagine how it would go. They've been working on the house day and night for 6 months, and the woman is not happy. And she's asking him to do more, or complaining about something he did, some improvement that he thought he did, and he likes, and he's all proud of it, and he's showing it, and she's not liking it. And then an argument ensued, and finally he just had enough of the blah blah blah. And he grabbed his gun and popped her, and it's, oh fuck, look what I did. I'm a bad man. I need to kill myself now. And that was it. That's the way I think it went. Again, we won't know until A, it starts to stink, or B, the police actually go knocking on doors, or somebody doesn't show up for work and people stop making phone calls. Where are they? TJ Jones says it takes several shots to take down an animal. Have you seen the Me, Myself, and Irene cow scene? No, I have not. I don't even know what that is. But I could see it would take several shots to take down an animal, not with a 30-06 at close range. Listen, I don't care how big a bear, a grizzly bear, shot with a 30-06 at close range would definitely, it would kill it. It wouldn't might not kill it immediately if you didn't hit it directly in the heart or brain or something, but it wouldn't be enough that the thing would just lay down and die. I mean, we're not talking 100 yards here. These are and all we have are white-tailed deer, and they're not that big. They're not like, rarely do I ever see a buck with antlers. I mean, we see them once in a while, but rarely do we usually see does with the whatever they are, the fawns, young ones. We don't we never see the big old male buck. So they're pretty small. They're about the size of a human. I don't think it would take 3 shots. And again, who the fuck would be shooting a rifle? Because where I live, keep in mind, it's pitch black. There's no streetlights here. At night, it's pitch black. You're shooting a rifle in any direction. You don't know what you're going to hit. You don't hit the deer. You have no idea where those bullets might end up. It could go through walls, could go through houses, could, you know, be interesting to see how this thing plays out. Nothing on the news yet so far. Nobody talked about. My stepdaughter had a police scanner going on. She said they didn't even report the 911 call. Nobody even talked about it. They never even sent out a notice to go check it out. Go check out what could be a murder. Nah, it's probably just. I could just see the cops saying, probably just fireworks. Another donut. Let's go. Let's go. What would it hurt to drive down the block to at least know if there are people running around committing a home invasion or something? To run away, get them out of the neighborhood at least, and start a chase or whatever it is. It wouldn't hurt anything. That's the cop's job. I don't want to be too negative on the police, but come on, you get a 911 call that there might, and so I'm skipping ahead. I didn't even finish. I'm not finishing my sentences. You get a 911 call that there might be a murder suicide. You go check it out. Now on Facebook, we have I'm going to look right now, see if anybody's commented. We have a group for my neighborhood. And I left a message up. Did anybody else hear the gunshots? And everybody said, I thought it was gunshots, but then it came in multiples. So I assume it was fireworks. It didn't come in multiples. It was bang, bang, and then a minute or so, bang. Linda, well, I don't want to give her name. Linda says, not sure what I heard, but it was something very loud in sequence. Checked my weather app to see if there was thunder and lightning outside there, but there was none. There was thunder and lightning later after that, but this was definitely not that. I know what a gunshot sounds like, believe it or not. Well, why? Why do you know what? She said, so I said, no, thunder came much later. I don't think it was fireworks. I'm familiar with the difference. I heard the typical murder I heard what sounded like a typical murder-suicide would sound like. 2 shots, a minute of silence, and then a 3rd shot. Called 911, they didn't bother checking it out, and then, somebody said, "Yep, that's exactly what I heard too." Somebody else said, "Yeah, it sounded like murder-suicide to me." That's what it sounded like. I mean, you can guess all you want, but unless somebody goes and checks it out, we'll never know. Interesting, though. Interesting. I almost want and my wife said, "No, why you can't do that." I wanted to go over and knock on the door, just say, "Everything all right in here? Everybody alive? Well, and by the way, welcome to the neighborhood." But my wife said, "No, that would be rude." I don't know how that would be rude. I just think, be honest and say, "I heard some shots. I was a little concerned, what I believe was shots. Just a little concerned. Everybody else is still alive in here. That's all I want to know. You can go about your life, go about your business." It's very strange that the cops don't even bother checking it out. Very strange. Started to tell you what we have lined up for the weekend. I was remiss. I got sidetracked with my own silliness. Tomorrow, Rock the Cash Bar, Diane Gallagher and Ben Mowbray, our co-host. And then Wednesday, Jonathan Flanagan, who is a comedian, I believe out of Los Angeles, California, will be with us. Now, keep in mind, every time I get a comedian on from LA, it is 6:15 in the morning for them. It's really difficult to be funny, to be even full of any kind of energy at 6:15, especially if you're in the arts and you're performing at night and whatever, and this is your life. Getting up at 6:15 and bringing your A game is difficult. Keep that in mind. I mean, some people they tune in expecting a comedy show, and yeah, sure, I'm all for laughs. Let's laugh as much as we can, but don't expect what you would get in a comedy club from comedians who are dead tired and really going out of their way to do me a favor to be on the program. It's a little different when you have people in New York who are on the same time zone. Then I would expect some, eh, bring me some funny a little bit, but just stay awake. If you're in LA at 6:15 in the morning, just stay awake through the whole thing, and you'll be showing me something. So and then Wednesday night, Richard Lynch, who is out of Ohio, country singer, uh, real country is how Richard brands himself. Richard was on the program once before, but terrible bandwidth issues. I think we had to cut the interview short. I'm really impressed with what he's done there. He's got a farm where he built his own little theater and does live shows, his own music. No, this is so cool. And if you're a musician or somebody in entertainment, just the idea of this is so fucking cool. You want to do it on his own property. He built his a theater where he puts on shows regularly. People come from miles around, from Kentucky, from Ohio, whatever else is local to him, to see these shows, dance hall shows, concert type things. He's got his own record label he runs out of his property, invites major recording artists to come and do shows there. It's just a great, great avenue to build for yourself, a facility to build for yourself, to do shows on your own property. Never having to go out and do a tour. The audience comes to you. You can only do that in rural areas where people don't mind drive. When I played with the Magic Mountain Band, Mountain Magic Band. What did I just say? Did I say Magic Mountain? Mountain Magic Band. Magic Mountain is like a theme park or something. Mountain Magic Band out of Clifton Forge, Virginia. We used to do that kind of stuff, and country music fans would drive 4 hours to go see a show. A lot of the times, the shows were in halls that were out on the interstate somewhere, I don't know, rodeo grounds and stuff like that. and people would drive to them. So you can only do those kinds of things where people are used to going out, traveling long distances to see shows and stuff. But it's definitely a cool thing. I would love to do that. And then on Thursday, Mike Vanderveen will be here in the morning. Mike is a comedian who has, like many of our guests who are comedians, done some time behind bars and not the kind of bars you drink at. Um, and a former not heroin addict. And he's got some big things coming up in the comedy world. He's um, doing some good things, and he'll be back to talk about what he's doing and what he's got coming up. And so I look forward to reconnecting with Mike. And then Friday, no guest again. At least as of this point, I don't have anybody scheduled. I don't want to do this where I'm just talking to nobody. So I probably will get a guest, or if I don't, Henry Phillips will make a magical appearance by transformation or osmosis, or not even by magic. We could call it. We could call it magic. Call it all of that stuff if you want. Um, and that's that. I haven't heard anything about any major weather incidents in the weekend, and that's a good thing. We were having some major tornadoes every weekend. It seemed like we were having some catastrophic, catastrophic. Man, it's fucking Monday morning. Easy words, folks. Easy words. Catastrophic. Weather things going on in the world. Seems like this weekend we took a break from that. Good thing. Um, oh, by the way, just seeing Doug Stanhope is going to be. Now what are the dates again? Make sure we get the dates right. He's going to be taping. I don't know if it's an hour special from Rogan's Mothership Club. Let me see the dates. I'll get the fucking dates for you because I have to know the dates. It is the 16th and 17th. Really? 16th and 17th of May? Let's check this out. Make sure we get our ducks in a row here. It might be the 15th and 16th. Just checking. Hold on. Hold on. You just hold your horses over there. You sit there and listen. Maybe you should be listening to the Mind Dog radio app. If you're on Android, you can go get the app. I believe the iOS app will be coming out today. Hold on a second. I'm just looking. Where is the oh, it's the 16th and 17th. Is that what I said? May 16th and 17th, which is a Tuesday and Wednesday at noon. Noontime day drinking shows, live taping. You can win 2 tickets, including airfare and hotel. Well, not right here, but right here. This is how you find out about how they win. But how you win is right here. And don't share this with people. Just do it yourself and make them come here if they want to find out about it. What I need you to do, it's difficult and it's time consuming. And this is why it can't be fixed. People asking me to fix the con. Oh, I really love to see Seinfeld. Stanhope, can you? Did I say Seinfeld? Wow. Oh, I wanted to talk about Seinfeld, by the way, but people calling or writing saying they really want to see Stanhope. Can I, just give them the tickets? No, we are not fixing this thing. This thing is a promotion, and I had to go jump through hoops to get the funding approved. I'm not going to just give it away to somebody. That takes away all the promotional effort. So here's what we need to do on minddogtv.com. On minddogtv.com, there are lots of links. There is only one link that takes you to the official winner page, and it will only be good for one time. Now, here's where it's important here. If you click on links, go on minddogtv.com, and they might not look like links. You never know what the link looks like. It could look like a typical advertising link. It could look like just a link to a story that I've linked to in my blog or something like that. It could look like I just said normal, everyday link. You click on it, it will take you to a page that says, "Congratulations, you are the winner. You must submit your information then," which means your information has to include your name, real name, because it's going to go to the airline, date of birth, address, all that kind of stuff, the kind of proof you'll be using, identification, and all that stuff. I know it's a little intrusive, but if you want to get the free tickets in the hotel, you got to do what I okay. But you have to submit this stuff. If you go to the page, you see that you're a winner and don't submit, then nobody's going to win because the page is only good one time. Once somebody clicks on that link and gets the congratulations, the trigger that makes that page active goes away, and then that page can never be activated again. So if you don't fill out your information, at least be kind enough to tell me, I got to the page, but I didn't feel like entering my information, so I have to reset it up and let some people do that all again. So again, here's what you need to do. You need to click on links on MindDog TV, the website, minddogtv.com. And there's a lot of them. Go to the blog there. You're gonna could be an endless thing. Sorry, folks, this is the way it's set up. You click on the links. Eventually, some lucky bastard is going to get taken to a page that says, "Congratulations, you're the winner. We need you to submit your information to collect your prize." Once you do that, you really need to put in your information there, hit submit, and you'll get your ticket information, your hotel information, and 2 tickets to Joe Rogan's mothership uh, for the Stanhope taping 2 days in a row. You get to watch both days, so you know you when the thing comes out, you'll know you were there. You can say, "I was there at that taping." Cool stuff. If you're a diehard Stanhope fan, I would think it would be worth spending a day clicking links on minddogtv.com. But again, don't share this information with people who are not listening right now. Make them come and listen to it tomorrow. I'm doubtful that we're going to have a winner today. I think this thing will go on all week long. There's a lot of links. So, but don't give away your advantage. If you start today and they start tomorrow, you got an advantage, right? I don't know. I'd like to go myself. I might go myself because it's on a Monday or Tuesday. Here's the thing. I know Stanhope's going to be drinking, and he's not going to want to deal with any dopey podcasters. So it's not like I can actually uh, get a few minutes for commentary from him or like a brief interview or something like that. That ain't going to happen. So it's just going to be me, and I'm not a drinker, and definitely not a day drinker. So I'll be the only straight old man sitting in the crowd. Um, but I am considering going myself. Um, Listen, and I've talked about this. I have a difficult time going to comedy shows by myself here locally. To fly 1,500 miles to go to a comedy show by myself twice in 2 days at noon at Joe Rogan. You know, I don't hate Rogan, but I don't like him. I don't think he's funny at all. People were talking about Rogan, and this is why I mentioned Seinfeld before. Seinfeld's been on my mind. I don't think Seinfeld was ever that funny either, and I'll get to that. But the cult, Rogan's cult, wants to talk about the hard work he's put in for his success. I don't bemoan the guy his success. He's done well. He's done well for himself, not necessarily based on being funny. I know he thinks of himself as a comedian first and foremost, but he's not. And I know people who are fans of his who admit they've gone to his shows because they love Joe Rogan, the podcaster. They love Joe Rogan, the Fear Factor guy. They love Joe Rogan, the MMA commentator for all the stupid shit that he says there. But can you name a joke that he said that really made you laugh? Can you tell me a joke that, anything that he said that you thought was really funny? No. Go watch his specials. If you find yourself laughing out loud at any moment, let me know about it. I don't think he's got it. Now, what does this all have to do? Well, they talk about people selling out arenas and all this kind of stuff, but he's not doing it based on his comedy. And the thing is, he's got himself convinced that those people are all there to see his comedy. Like he's a great comedian, and he puts himself on a level, on the upper level, upper echelon of stand-up comedy today. And he's not. He's just not. I can name probably 100 comedians, some of them not in the game for 2 or 3 years, who are funnier than Rogan. I'm not saying this to be mean to the guy. He has built an empire for himself, a very strong, successful career. But he did not make it based on comedy. He made it on a sitcom. Luck has a funny way of working things out for you. Made it on a sitcom because Mitzi thought he was hot enough that she wanted to fuck him, that she gave him regular time at the Comedy Store. And the talent scouts in LA said, Ray Romano's not doing news radio. We need somebody else. Oh, why not get the good-looking guy? And he was good-looking when he was young. He wasn't the freak that he is now. He didn't have a watermelon-sized head, bald head, on a 4'3" body. He was a good-looking young kid. And so, yeah, put him on a sitcom. Doesn't take any talent to be on a sitcom, and that's how he made it. From there, the wheels are greased. You're rolling on Fear Factor and the other Joe Rogan Questions Everything and all the shows that he got. Funded his ability to do his comedy. And then when Ustream came out, Ustream was the first live streaming network for podcasters and people looking to do this kind of thing. I was on there, and he was on there, and not many other people were on there. There weren't a whole lot of people. There were a couple of people were experimenting with it. Madhouse TV started doing a series of show, opened the studio to do that kind of stuff. Talking around 2008, 2009. Rogan started his podcast right around then. And I was doing mine then. That's the Hank Porter one. But he wasn't doing well with it. He wasn't doing well until he started getting some famous people on there, and that would attract more and more users. And then eventually Ustream died, and he brought it over to YouTube, blah, blah, blah. But never built that career on stand-up comedy, but has it in his head that he is on the level with, I don't know, Chappelle, Bill Burr, all those people. And so he's just not. And so these people who are in his cult and think, consider him first and foremost a comedian. It's just wrong. I mean, again, I know comedy is subjective, but even his fans admit they don't go to see him for the comedy. They buy tickets because of his celebrity, or because Joe's got it. Joe says it like it is. Joe talks real talk, man. He's an idiot like them. He really is. He might be well read on certain subjects, and he might be able to carry a conversation with smart people. But when it comes down to it, his logic, his ability to perform independent, critical thinking about subjects that require more than just headline reading and internet research, YouTube research, man. You guys do your own research. His ability to do that is definitely weak. Weak game by far. Similarly, similarly, Jerry Seinfeld. Now, Seinfeld, I think, is funnier than Rogan, not by much, but he had a career in stand-up comedy, and he made his career in stand-up comedy. Now, when it came to getting a television show, Larry David was the funny guy. But Larry David was not safe for America because he was way too friggin' Jewish for white Anglo-Saxon America. So Jerry, being the guy, nondescript Jew, the guy who doesn't look all that Jewish, was Larry David's buffer man, his buffering to help him get a show on the air that included a lot of his humor. And in case you didn't notice, George Costanza, with the Italian last name, not a Jewish last name, was playing Larry David, playing all Larry David's parts, played it extremely Jewish, stereotypical New York Jewish humor. And Larry David would be the first one to admit that. It was humor. We weren't sure the nation was going to get it because the humor was so New York Jewish, which was what Larry David was doing when he met Seinfeld. So really, Seinfeld's he's a billionaire. Barely a billionaire, but a billionaire. His a $1 billion fortune was, to some extent, to a large extent, built upon the talent and creativity of Larry David, not Jerry Seinfeld's amazing stand-up act, because his stand-up act was never that amazing. I mean, it's dad jokes. Look at Seinfeld's act. And I'm not here on a bashing mission. This is not I'm just talking about comedy for what it's worth, and people who make big money and get name recognition and get thought of as leading comics, leading comedians, top shelf comedians who aren't. They just aren't. Kind of like, well, I can't say Nickelback, but I was gonna, if you take it into maybe you could say Nickelback. If you take it into the music industry, there's lots of people like that who are thought of as top notch musicians and singers and songwriters who just aren't. Popularity, success, financial success in entertainment does not equate to quality of content or performance. It just doesn't. So I think Seinfeld is riding that myth too. A lot of people think of him as a great comedian. No, he's a guy who had a television show that was extremely well written, and lucky enough to have a comedic genius behind the whole thing in Larry David. I wonder what kind of thank you Seinfeld sends Larry David every year. Like, come on, man, the guy made you a billionaire. No, he probably made himself a billionaire in the process, no doubt about it. But if it weren't for Larry David, Seinfeld probably would have been done by the mid-90s with his career. One last comedian I want to get on now. This one's a difficult one for me because I've been learning or trying to teach myself to separate the entertainer from the person. In other words, if somebody's a dick, I can still like their act. I could still like their music. I could still like their comedy. I could still like the films they do. But they're a dick. Tom Segura is a dick, plain and simple. He's a very shallow, cold-hearted asshole of a person. He just is. But I have been a fan of some of his comedy, but I noticed after the last thing he did that revealed, and I'm not basing this idea that Tom Segura is a dick off of short YouTube clips or stuff taken out of context. Taken as out of long form conversation people have had with him for hours and getting to the gist of who he is. Now, he's an elitist. He thinks the world owes him something. And he thinks anybody who is not rich and successful somehow is less than him. And dare I say, he thinks homeless people should be murdered. He thinks they deserve the misery of their life, and they are an inconvenience to him and his special life and need to be murdered. That's the solution for homelessness. And no empathy, no there but for the grace of God go I. No, gee, I got fucking lucky having the opportunity to do what I love for a living and make a damn good living at it, an overpaid, overpriced living. No thank you, no appreciation for the life that you stepped into. But I have found him funny. But the last time, a couple of days ago, well, Friday night after the gig, I was watching some stuff, and I was trying to kind of put all that negativity that I have about him aside and just enjoy the comedy. Couldn't do it. Everything he said at that point started to feel like, oh yeah, this just reminds me of what an elitist prick he is. Every fucking joke he had reminded me that this is an elitist prick who thinks he's better than you because he got lucky. And let's face it, anybody, yeah, whether you believe in luck or not, you cannot believe in luck. But anybody who is fortunate enough to never have to really work a day job, but only do what they liked to do and have a silly childlike experience in life where it's just about laughter and all and telling jokes or playing music or whatever it is. If you're lucky enough to do that, you owe the world a little bit of gratitude for the special life that you've been given. And if you got none of it and you think you're better than everybody and you feel like people who have had a hard time, people who end up homeless, some of them through no fault of their own. A lot of them are, yeah, a lot of people who end up homeless have reasons they ended up homeless. But as we saw in 2008, millions of people ended up homeless who were just trying to work and provide the American dream for their family, a home. But they lost their homes because of corrupt bankers and stuff like that. Those people you want murdered? Even the people who ended up on the streets through their own shortcomings don't deserve to be murdered. That's not the solution. No matter where you fall politically, the solution is not fuck these people. They deserve it, or they're a burden on mankind. If that's your solution, I hope there is a hell. I really hope there is a hell. I don't doubt there is, but I hope there is. If that's what you want for your fellow mankind, you're a piece of shit human being. That's all. And so that's where I am at Tom Segura. Now I'm having a hard time finding him funny anymore. And this is my dilemma because I have been working hard at separating the artist from the art. Had that going on with Eric Clapton for a long time. Used to be still a fan of Clapton's music. But the more I hear about him, the more I learn about him, the more I learn about the person he is. Valerie Bertinelli, he was right. She posted a picture of him and said, "Once a dick, always a dick." Now, I'm gonna end it here. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, and I got stuff to do. I got letters to write. I got uh packages, sponsorship packages to get out there. But briefly, Eddie Van Halen, who was also not thought of well by a lot of people who actually, I hate to speak poorly of the dead, but let's face it, a lot of people thought Eddie Van Halen was a dick. A lot of people knew him well. David Lee Roth, Sammy Hagar, both, and Michael Anthony will all tell you he was pretty much a dick. Now, that could be sour grapes, could be personal shit, all that stuff. But it's not an uncommon thing. What I know about Eddie Van Halen, but they tied to the Eric Clapton thing. Van Halen was a Eric Clapton fan, and then Van Halen and Brian May did a Blues Breakers recording, and they dedicated it to Eric Clapton, sent it to him, and Clapton wasn't impressed. In fact, he called them terrible players. Said they don't know a thing about playing the blues, and it was disrespectful and an insult and all that stuff. So Van Halen wanted to approach him again another time, and he went there drunk and was like chatting up Clapton in a drunk state of mind. And Clapton had just gotten sober himself, and when you get sober, last thing you want to do is have somebody who's drunk chewing on your ear. So Clapton was a dick to him then. So that started a feud, and basically they didn't like each other for the rest of Eddie Van Halen's days. And Valerie Bertinelli posted a picture about Eric and said, "Once a dick, always a dick." This was long after Eddie had passed. But I'm on that boat now. I can't listen to Clapton with the same fresh ears that I used to, because every time I hear him play, I'm reminded that he is a dick. Now, not because of the Eddie Van Halen thing. That's just two guys with egos wanting to be the Top Gun or whatever it is that they want to be. Clashing. By the way, I can say that Eddie Van Halen was not a 100% dick. He had some very good qualities, generous qualities. Some of them self-serving. When I was at Stony Brook Pathology, I think I could say this now. He was a patient of one of the doctors I worked with, who discovered the root of his lip cancer and treated him for it and saved his life. And shortly after that, Eddie donated an entire facility to cancer treatment and cancer diagnosis and all that stuff. So he was putting his money where his mouth was. And of course, he had gone through it, but he didn't have to do that. So the point I'm making is he's not a complete asshole in every regard. He had some redeeming qualities in him. But it's getting really, really difficult for me to live up to my wanting to put the personality aside from the content and art that they create and enjoy the art. I have been able to do it with people throughout the years, mostly actors and stuff like that. Sometimes musicians, yeah, like Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry is a racist, angry, well, was racist, angry old man. But I enjoyed his music and enjoyed watching him play. I could forget about that. I could forget that he was a dick. This guy's a dick. But it's getting harder as I get older. That's all I'll say about that. Anyway, I hope you get on. Are some of you people out there now clicking on links on minddogtv.com? I'm going to say one more time before I sign up how you can win the tickets. This is airfare and hotel included to Austin, Texas, May 16th and 17th to go see Doug Stanhope at the mothership, Joe Rogan's mothership in Austin, Texas, for a live taping. Live taping. That's an oxymoron, isn't it? A taping, I guess, for his next special, 2 days in a row. Noonday day drinking. The way you win those tickets, you go to minddogtv.com. You click on links. All kinds of links. They could look like advertising links. They could be just text links. It could be, oh, check out the story here. Any kind of links that you find on minddogtv.com. And there's a lot of them. Eventually, you'll find one if you're diligent enough and you're quick enough to be the first to get to a page that says, congratulations, you have won 2 tickets to see Doug Stanhope and in Austin, Texas, airfare and hotel included. What we need to do now is submit your information to claim your prize. You have to do that. You have to submit accurate information. You can't give a fake name. If you give a fake name, the airline won't allow you on the plane. You'll need ID to get on the plane. Now, if you're in Austin, I guess, if you're already in Austin and aren't going to need the plane fare, I guess you can lie to us about your name, date of birth, and all that kind of stuff that needs to be included in purchasing the tickets for you. I guess you can, but why would you want to? But so that's how you do it. Now, once you click on that link, this is important to know. That link, the page is only good for one launch. It's going to be one winner. So once you get to that page, if you don't submit your information, that page goes away and nobody else can access it after that. So if you refuse to submit your information when you get there, at least let me know about it so I can set the whole thing up so people still have a chance to win. Because if you don't, the prize goes away and nobody will ever win. And that will suck. We'll have 2 empty seats for both days of Stanhope's taping. You don't want that. And you'll be responsible for that. You, I'm talking to. You winner, loser.
Broadcasting from the rocky cliffs of Shoreham, New York, you're listening to Mind Dog Radio.
Yes, you are.
Broadcast.
Now, no, shut up. I'm still looking for people to give me some of those. Hey, you're listening to Mind Dog Radio on Live 365. Send me some MP3s of you guys saying that. It could be audio. It doesn't have to be celebrities. I'm going to get some celebs to do it. But it could be just some of your listeners doing that. Oh, by the way, email Jackie, man. He's complaining he's not getting enough emails from this. It's like, well, people not email me. I ask for emails. Jokeland@AOL.com. Write him anything. Just whether you like him, don't like him, say good stuff, bad stuff. He's down with it all. But he wants to get email. Send him some emails. Jokeland@AOL.com. Maybe that's why. Maybe I'm saying the name wrong. It's Jokeland@AOL.com. Anyway, that's not a show for you, but I'm done talking today. Tomorrow, rock the cash bar. Be here or be square. Maybe we'll have a winner to announce by then, but I doubt it unless somebody is like a link-clicking madman. But you never know. Hey, 24 hours, you can get a lot of links clicked. Get through a lot of links, right? Go to minddogtv.com, start clicking like a bastard. That's what I'm telling you to do. Anyway, are you sick of me yet? You want me to get out of here? I feel like leaving. No, sorry, no flat earth talk today or ever. And don't forget to turn on your radio. And I'll see you tomorrow. Rock the cash bar. You're going to want to be part of that. Maybe we'll have some giveaways tomorrow. We'll do some rock the cash bar samples. Bye for now. Have a great day. Talk to you then.
me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now.